teaching you the secret to retiring as a millionaire. Now, look, I'm sorry to get your hopes up. Really, there is no secret. But this number is not a lie. I am going to show you how from starting with £1,000, you are capable of retiring as a millionaire. Let's talk about that. Earning just a 10% interest rate over 30 years, compounding that every single month, and depositing £500 every single month would leave you retiring as a millionaire. Now, you might be saying, okay, that's cool, but how do I get a 10% interest rate? How do I get a 10% return on my money? Now, you're not going to get that in a bank. You save money in the bank, you might get 0.1% per year. And with inflation numbers creeping up to 5% a year, that means you're losing 4.9% on your money per year. You're never going to get rich by saving cash or saving money in the bank. It is impossible, okay? Look at some current examples such as Venezuela, where inflation has been eating their money up. The prices of goods have been rising at astronomical rates, such as 50% per month. That means if you had a loaf of bread that cost you £1 this month, the next month it's costing you £1.50, etc., etc. And this doesn't stop. It just keeps on going and going and going. I looked at the Venezuelan inflation chart. It's something like 2.1 million% over the last year. Insanity. Now, that is hyperinflation. We'll cover that on another episode. What I want to show to you today is the compound interest calculator. Let's say you've managed to save up £1,000 to get started, right? You don't need to invest a load of money up front for this to work. It's about the consistency and the compounding of your returns. Let's say you had £1,000. Let's say you had £2,000. Now, if you're in the UK and you're watching this video, or you're in the Western world, wherever, you should be able to get £2,000 by getting a job, making sure that your debt is paid off, maybe getting a second or third or fourth source of income. I read that the average millionaire has 6 or 7 sources of income, some of them passive. You need to learn the difference between earned income, interest income, dividend income, royalty income, all of which will help you on your journey to financial freedom. 10% interest rate per year, but how? The S&P 500, which is a fund which tracks the top 500 performing US companies, averages 10% a year over the last 100 years. Over the last 10 years, it's actually averaged 13.6%, which is quite promising going forward. 30 years. Compounding takes a long time. If you check it for just 10 years, you'll see that the effects are much less. You see, we've earned £45,000 in interest if we just do this for 10 years. If we do it for 30 years, we have earned, what, £987,000 in interest. Now, I get what you're saying. How do we get it though? Now, I've written a blog post about how anybody can get started with the stock market and how easy it is to choose an index fund, figure out what kind of plan you're going for, whether you're really in it for the long term, choose your risk tolerance, whether you want to take on more risk. That's entirely up to you. We all have different plans, and I will leave the link for this calculator in the description. Let's take my plan for example. I'm 20 years old. Let's say I want to retire at 40. Let's say I've got £10,000 to start with. I know that I can get around a 10% interest rate. And let's say I can invest £1,000 per month. What would I be able to retire on? Age 60. £6.8 million. Nice. I would have only deposited around £500,000 over the next 40 years. But I would have earned in interest £6.3 million. That's really nice. And kind of brings me to my point of the secret millionaire or the millionaire next door. You can achieve something like this with little amounts of money. Let's say £5 a day, but you're compounding this. A lot of people spend £5 a day on a takeaway, or their lunch, or a Starbucks, or spending £50 at the end of the week on going out. I don't know how much a pint of beer is these days, but I doubt it's less than £4 or £5. And I know when you go to the bar or the pub, you're not having one pint of beer. So you have to take these things into account. I don't know how much it is to fill up a tank of gas these days in England, but I think it's probably £40 or something at least. Now, I'm not saying everybody should sell their cars and bike to work and drink nothing but water and eat nothing but beans on toast, but I am saying the same things that you are spending money on today are the exact same reasons why you will not be able to retire at the age you want to retire and with as much money as you wish you could. So let's take a look and go £150, £5 a day, compounding over 40 years at a 10% interest rate. And let's say you've just got £500 to scrape together to get started, to give you that little jump. How much would you be able to retire on? Almost £1 million. If you put £1,000 down up front, you would probably be able to retire on £1 million. There we go. £1,000 up front, depositing £5 a day, and you would be able to retire as a millionaire. Now, you have to think, when you're spending £5 a day on things that are gone in a heartbeat, is it worth it? Is it worth it for your future? Is it worth it for the fact that you're not going to be able to leave anything to your children if you have them? Do take these things into account. I'm not saying you should live a mundane life for 40 years to enjoy the last quarter of your life, but it's something to think about. I'm going to leave the link for the compound interest calculator in the description, and I'm going to end it there. This is how to retire as a millionaire. Any questions? Want to chat about this topic? Reach me out on Twitter at Meow Money YT, or check out my blog at meowmoney.online. I hope you enjoyed.